It's kind of bad. Some of the bourbons that people consider to be like more refined and like higher quality, I like some of the cheaper stuff that I know is probably not as good.
Yeah. You like your bourbons a little bit on the trashy side.
Just a little, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Revue de Bourbon, a podcast dealing with all things bourbon. I'm your co-host, Dusty, and along with my co-host, Wayne, we're just a couple of guys who love to talk about bourbon. So, whether you're at home, stuck at work, or just in your car, sit back, relax, kick your feet up, pour yourself a drink. Enjoy the show. Okay.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
Finally getting started here.
Yeah. After a few small delays, we welcome you to Revue de Bourbon, everyone. Yeah.
We're over at the Blue Italian Grill in Louisville today.
Yes, we are located right downtown in the heart of Kentucky. We're back on the Urban Bourbon Trail, aren't we, Wayne?
Back on the trail.
Man,
back in the saddle.
We're back on the hunt. All right, well, this is exciting. This is actually our second trip back here. Last time we didn't do our podcast here. So this is a little bit more exciting. We've got bluegrass starting up here in a little bit.
Right.
You like bluegrass, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
We've got a real treat for you guys. Today we're doing Colonel E.H. Taylor.
Doing 3 different variations of it. We've got the small batch, the single barrel, and the straight rye. I believe they are all bottled in bond, right?
They are, yes. In fact, all of the E.H. Taylors are, with the exception of the barrel proof, and that's because it can't be 100 proof. So it's more expensive than your typical bottled in bond.
Quite a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a bit. These are pretty high-quality bourbons.
Do you know what the small batch sells for? I don't know the other two. Isn't it like around the high 70s most of the time? Is it that expensive?
Is that the one that's available? The small batch? Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of the
say
single
it's
barrel
like
or
60.
something. Is
yeah,
it? Okay.
Yeah. So, you're kind of starting there, and then the rye is maybe around the same, and then you're
probably
going
more
up from there. Yeah. So I'll just run down the list of what E.H. Taylor does produce. We have the small batch, the single barrel, and the rye here today. What we don't have that they produce is the barrel proof. They do an old-fashioned sour mash.
Huh.
They've got a cool kind of gimmicky one called the Tornado, which a tornado came through the distillery, tore the top off the warehouse, and made those barrels age differently. So kind of a one-of-a-kind, weird thing that they capitalized on. And then there's a cured oak.
Maybe it had an ailment.
Ooh. Maybe it had...
Needed some bourbon to cure it.
Yeah, maybe it had termites.
Maybe.
Nah, that wasn't a good joke.
Nah, should probably cut that out of there.
Yeah. So, this is exciting. We are going to do the tastings right now. We're going to start with the small batch, but before we get into it, I'd like to just give you a little history about Colonel Edmund Haynes Taylor, Jr. Do you know that was his full name?
No.
I didn't either before today. No big deal. I don't think too many people do. He was actually a great nephew of Zachary Taylor.
Oh, really?
Do you know what number president Zachary Taylor is?
17.
Pretty close, 12th.
Oh.
Not bad, though.
Wild-ass guess, though.
He was a pretty interesting guy. He was very smart, very motivated. Started out as a banker, financing other people's distilleries, helping that grow. Got interested in the business, ended up buying a distillery, and was a big proponent of the bottled in bond. He wanted standards. He wanted to produce things at a high quality. He wanted to do things newer and better than everybody else.
Back then, bottled in bond was probably as good as you could get. Probably the top shelf bourbon was the bonded.
He had a copper still, which a lot of places didn't. So he was going for quality, and he kind of wanted to weed out all the shitty people by pushing the Bottled in Bond Act and creating a new standard on how to make bourbon. He ended up selling the distillery to a fella named George T. Stagg. I don't know if you ever heard of him. No?
Yeah, heard of George T. Stagg.
Another guy you may be familiar with. We've actually reviewed Stagg, haven't we?
Stagg Jr.
Which was a great one.
We'll have to have Senior on the show sometime.
Absolutely. But this is a Buffalo Trace product. It's under that umbrella, under Sazerac. That's where it's produced today, and you can go to the distillery.
At the Sazerac distillery?
Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
Yep. But you can go there today and actually see some remnants of OFC. That stood for Old Fire Copper. That was the name of his distillery. And there's still some traces of that there. And that was back in the 1860s. It's old.
It's a while back.
That's some history for America. We don't have very much old stuff.
No.
So that's pretty cool. I can tell you, if you do go to the Buffalo Trace Distillery, you won't be disappointed. Have you been there?
No, I've not. I need to go there.
Yeah, you would really, really enjoy it. It's kind of unlike the others in that it's not out in the middle of a field.
Yeah, the ones I've been to are all just you're out in the middle of nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a huge distillery.
Boom. You start seeing warehouses pop up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this stuff's been sitting here in front of me for a long time.
I know,
now,
far
so we
too
need to
long.
Go ahead and taste it.
We're starting out with the small batch. Right away, it's like apple and caramel smelling.
Man, that is a really good bourbon.
Wow.
It's a lot of flavor there.
Yeah, what kind of flavors are you getting?
You definitely get some from the barrel there, no doubt about that. And then there's almost a little bit of fruitiness to it.
Yeah, kind of what I was smelling.
Like a fall kind of fruit, like pear, apple.
Maybe a dried apple,
Yeah.
like an apple chip, if you will. It's almost a little piney.
It's
Maybe that's
definitely
the woodiness.
Definitely a lot of woodiness to it. And it's got the finish just really hangs around there.
Mm-hmm.
And as it stays around, you taste more like definitely vanilla and a lot of the wood, the oak.
Let's move down to the single barrel. What do you say?
All right. Definitely smells a lot different. There's not as much alcohol in the nose. It's kind of a milder, smoother.
More tobacco-y.
Yeah. Almost like a Scotch kind of smell.
Yep. Oh, wow. Very different.
Very. Almost a little bit of like toffee and cherry there.
A lot smoother.
Well, yeah, the finish dissipates quite a bit quicker. But, man, that's
a
really
good sipping one there.
Oh, yeah.
That's like sitting by a fire with a cigar and like some jazz playing, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like kind of the same category of bourbon as the Blanton's.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Jefferson's small batch.
Oh, yeah.
Like the basic Jefferson's. It's got that rich, kind of just pure bourbon taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Well, I didn't expect that big of a difference between those.
No, I didn't either.
Move on to the rye?
Yeah. Yeah, this one I'm excited about. I like rye. Oh, man, smell that. That's,
I get like lemony.
yeah. Almost a little bit like some kind of herbal tea.
That's nice. Very smooth, actually. Maybe a little too smooth.
Maybe.
I'm not getting a whole lot of flavors. It was nice at first. Maybe I'm just coming off that last one. But, yeah, I need to spend a little bit more time with this guy. Maybe have a private chat with it and see what's going on.
Maybe invite it over for dinner one day.
Yeah. Well, let's start with coffee. Do lunch, then dinner, maybe. I don't know if this one's making it to dinner, though.
Yeah, just maybe brunch.
It's a simple, good one, but probably I don't think is going to be worth the price for me.
No, not when they offer these other two, which are some of the best bourbons I've had. So.
Yeah, and going back to that one first, I got a lot more clear taste on that, and it just wasn't doing it for me. All right, well, what's your favorite here, Wayne?
The small batch.
I'm going with that single barrel. I really like that. It's got
that?
the cinnamony, just all that warm.
That is a very smooth whiskey.
It's decadent.
Yep.
I feel a little bit guilty.
Might even describe it as suave
It's almost too sexy
for its bottle. So you should just drink it. If you've not had either one of these three and you're listening and want to know which one to try,
Right.
I mean, you'll not be disappointed with either one.
No, I think it's definitely a brand that you can go to and just grab whatever is on the shelf and you'll enjoy it.
I mean, it's pretty safe to get anything that Buffalo Trace does.
You take a look at their lineup and you realize
what's their bottom shelf benchmark?
Benchmark.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good under $15 bourbon.
Yeah, which Benchmark is Buffalo Trace,
Right.
and then turns into Eagle Rare.
Well, and Buffalo Trace is $20.
Yeah.
And that's a fantastic bourbon.
You know, hotel bars, I have an affinity for hotel bars. I don't know what it is. I just like the randomness of the kind of people that come in.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of variety in the crowd here.
You just don't know what you're going to get, and I like that aspect of it. We're going to take a little breaky poo, and we'll be back after these messages.
All right, thanks.
Folks, are you tired of old, dirty sponges? Kiss those old sponges goodbye. If you only try one new sponge this year, make it the amazing Ultra Sponge. The Ultra Sponge goes everywhere you've got scum. In between, underneath, everywhere. Listen to some satisfied customers who have purchased the Ultra Sponge.
Now? Oh. Yes, I love the Ultra Sponge. I think everyone in the world should buy one.
You can order your amazing Ultra Sponge now by phoning 1-800-2-ABSORB. That's 1-800-2-ABSORB. Call early. Call now. Call every day. Call your mother and tell her about the amazing Ultra Sponge.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to Revue de Bourbon. Wayne, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. We are down here at the Blue Italian Bar in downtown Louisville at the Marriott Hotel. Fantastic bourbon bar that's on the Urban Bourbon Trail. We're about to hear some live bluegrass, so if you hear that kick up in the background, that's what'll be going on. We got a nice little thing in front of us here, don't we, Wayne?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to try these.
Why don't you describe what we're looking at here?
What we've got are 3 very different bourbons, other than that they're all from the same distillery, which is the Wild Turkey Distillery. Mm-hmm. My personal favorite one. Forgiven is not necessarily a bourbon. It was supposedly an accident. It's, half rye, half bourbon?
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like the chef collaboration.
Yeah, kind of like
from
that.
Jefferson's.
Then we have Kentucky Spirit 101, which is a pretty special bottling from Wild Turkey. Mm-hmm. And then there's the Russell's Reserve Single Barrel, which I've never had, and really looking forward to trying that.
The Russells I'm familiar with. The other 2 I'm not so much. Forgiven, I know I've never had. We're going to dive right into these guys. We're going to talk Wild Turkey and have some bluegrass going. Doesn't get much more American than that.
Not a whole lot.
If we had a slice of apple pie here, that'd kind of complete the circle.
Maybe some baseball.
Some McDonald's.
We could do without that, though.
Yeah. Now, we're going in order of proof, too. We're starting with the lowest proof, which is Forgiven at 91, then Kentucky Spirit at 101, and then the Russell's is 110. And this is the Russell's Single Barrel. So let's go ahead and start with the Forgiven. Let's move to the Forgiven by Wild Turkey. Kind of sweet.
It is. It's very good.
Yeah.
You kind of taste some of the mash in it, too.
Okay.
That may be where the sweetness comes from.
It's nice. It's pleasant. I'm getting a dry, kind of a dry taste, aftertaste.
Yeah. Sweet up front with the dry finish. Mm-hmm. Isn't that what we said about the chef's collaboration, too?
Might have been.
I think so.
The chef's collaboration was really flavorful.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that very well. Hey there.
Nope.
Thank you. Very good. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. The next one we've got here is Kentucky Spirit, which is a single barrel Wild Turkey. That the last 2, actually, the Russell's Reserve and Kentucky Spirit, are, I believe, hand-selected by Jimmy and Eddie Russell. Yeah, this one is cut the same as regular Wild Turkey to 101. It smells amazing to me, though.
Yeah. That's very different from what we just had. So, tell me what you're thinking there, Wayne.
Kind of speechless there. That's really good. It's like everything I already like about Wild Turkey, kind of magnified,
Amped up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got comes on really strong. You know, it's spicy. There's vanilla, there's caramel, and then just a really strong finish. A little bit of a kick to it still. Lets you know you're drinking something.
It's big, bold.
Oh yeah,
You know,
very
this
bold.
is like Bobby Flay.
And
Boom.
you can even taste it on the roof of your mouth. Like it's just full of flavor.
It's full flavored,
It's
full
what I
bodied.
want in a bourbon. Probably not for everybody. Let's go on to the next one.
We're bumping up to 110 now. Now tell us a little bit about Russell's. What we're dealing with.
Well,
here.
it's a single barrel that is actually picked from all the center cut barrels, which would be, I mean, the very center of the warehouse.
Yeah,
the
center
heart of the
cut
warehouse.
of the warehouse, which
It you definitely get different in the middle than the top and bottom. Probably pull quite a bit out of the barrel.
Right.
I'm sure it gets really hot in the middle in the summer. Probably stays really cold, away from all the windows in the winter.
now you're getting people, wanting to know which warehouse it comes from, where at in the warehouse,
Right.
what side of the warehouse. So, this is where we're getting in the bourbon,
You know,
in the bourbon craze.
definitely still tastes like Wild Turkey. Man, that is good.
Whoa. I got the little horseradish burn. Wow. That was an experience.
It's kind of like Wild Turkey's older brother. The Russell's Reserve single barrel, while being, just fantastic, is more one-dimensional than the Spirit, which is, kind of a given, being that they're all from center-cut barrels.
Right.
It's kind of like tasting the heart of Wild Turkey.
That might be a good slogan for them.
Could be. Maybe they'll pay me for it. Who knows?
Yeah, you.
About that.
All right. Maybe we'll send them a tweet out about that. See if they catch on to that one. So the band here tonight is called Hickory Wind.
What are they called?
Hickory Wind.
Hickory Wind?
Yeah. Nice little band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting bluegrass. This is more just like old school country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's back when country was good.
So we're talking like Merle Haggard, Hank, Waylon, those
Oh, yeah.
guys. All right, well, we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back with bartender Matt. All right, so we're back here at Blue Italian Bar with Matt here. Matt, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Matt, bartender here, about 6 months, new lover of bourbon, but I have definitely dived headfirst into that bottle when I found it.
Yeah, this is the place to do it, too. This place is on the Urban Bourbon Trail, correct?
First page on the Bourbon Trail.
Is it
Absolutely.
really? Hell yeah.
Yep.
We've actually been hitting bars on the Urban Bourbon Trail, doing podcasts, kind of letting people know places to stop when they come and do the real Bourbon Trail. A lot of them stay in Louisville. This is a fantastic stop that not a lot of people know about because it's in a hotel.
It's I get a lot of people who come in here and say, I couldn't even find your bar. I was wandering around the building for about 5 minutes, but when they do find it, they're pretty impressed. We are lucky because we're pretty centrally located around with everybody else on the Bourbon Trail.
Yeah, right downtown. And you guys have an excellent bottled and bond feature, which I love about this place.
That's another one that's up and coming. Bottle and Bond, the rye, whiskey, everyone's loving that right now, but Bottle and Bond is coming up. I think people are starting to appreciate what it takes to make a Bottle and Bond.
We've got a mystery bourbon here that Matt brought us. We don't know what it is yet.
No idea. Looking forward to it,
And
though.
let's go ahead and taste this guy.
I think you'll be a little surprised when I tell you who this is.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
What do you think about that one?
It's good. It's kind of got that old-timey taste.
It does.
A
Exactly.
little old-timey face with a fresh, almost
Very
a newer
fresh.
kind.
Yeah. Is that a Heaven Hill product?
That is not a Heaven Hill product.
Okay.
I figured I'd keep you on the same track, and that's actually Wild Turkey Diamond.
Oh.
That's the 60th anniversary celebration that Eddie put out for Jimmy for his 60 years.
Wow.
That is,
I get a lot of people who they ask me for a surprise, and I give that to them, and they say there's something they remember about it, but they can't figure it out, and they're surprised.
I don't know. It tastes old and new at the same time.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that one I've only actually seen at the distillery when I went there, and I was able to try some of it. And
What's the proof on this?
that one is at a good 96.
Okay. All right. That's nice.
Yeah, it really is. The 17-year, which is actually the oldest one that they're bringing out, is actually the lowest proof that they're going to offer. They bottled it at 120, and it came out at about 87 proof. This is Eddie Russell's first major offering by himself.
Okay. Here at the bar, what have you seen going on? What are people ordering? What are people wanting?
I got a lot of, when I first started, I got a lot of the rye whiskeys. Everybody likes that spicy flavor, especially with a lot of mixed drinks, because that spice kind of cuts through a lot of the mixes and stuff that you'll get.
Right.
That's actually kind of on the downward trend. I've noticed around a lot here. Bottle and Bond, everybody is actually kind of getting into that. Everyone, of course, wants to see all the Pappies. Everybody loves the Pappies. That's always the draw in that. But then,
so what's your favorite? What's your go-to?
Favorite every day is Wild Turkey 101. But if I was going to do my favorite, I'd have to have a circle that's all equal and probably about 10 of them in there. I mean, there's just so many offerings.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind every day. Probably about a year ago, I moved down here. And when I moved down here, all I knew was Jim Beam, and I liked my Coke in it.
Right.
And then I just got down here, and I found there's so much more. I can drink 101 all day.
Yeah.
I really can.
Well, not all day.
All day. It depends on if it's my day off. All day.
Well, Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Once again, this is
It's the bar at Blue, but it's Blue Italian Grill, the
Yeah.
restaurant next door. Yeah.
fantastic place. They do a really good job. This is our second time here, and everyone's super knowledgeable, and we appreciate it. So,
Well, thank you, guys. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks a
Appreciate
lot.
it.
It's always
Yeah.
nice to be around another Wild Turkey fan.
Amen. We're very few and far between, but I like finding another one.
Yeah. Once again, thanks for joining us at Revue de Bourbon. We've had a great time here on the Urban Bourbon Trail.
That was Hickory Wind playing in the background, right?
Yeah. We're actually going to feature a song from them. We'll play a little tune for you. And thanks for joining us. As always, we've got a nice treat for you coming up. We're attending a bourbon dinner where there's magic involved.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that.
We're going to have to
Looking
just talk
forward to
about
it.
it on the next episode. If you're here in Louisville doing the Bourbon Trail, you might want to partake in. So that's something to look forward to soon on the next episode. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time right here back on the Pod Waves with Revue de Bourbon. I've been Dusty Pockets.
And I've been Wayne Smithton.
Thanks again. Have a great night. Cheers.
See ya.
There's that Kentucky hug for you. People usually give me kind of a look like, well, you're kind of crazy.
I usually get pretty drunk at brunch.